So think about the last trip you took. How many chargers did you have to pack? You've got the big power brick for your laptop, a separate one for your phone, another for your tablet, maybe your watch. It's a whole separate pouch in your bag. But what if you could replace all of that with just one thing? That is the compromise of this, the Nano charging station from Anker. It's a 100-watt laptop charger, a multi-port hub, and a power strip all in one. We're going to see if it delivers on that promise, especially with these wild built-in retractable cables that they got going on right here. But stick with me, because while this thing solves one problem, it might create a whole new one. And by the end, you're gonna know if this is the ultimate travel accessory for you. Okay, so first things first, let's try to talk about the hardware. Anker calls this a Nano charging station, but historically, their Nano brand has meant very small, super portable chargers. But this is different. When I picked it up the first time, the first thing I noticed was the heft. It's pretty heavy. It weighs 615 grams, almost a pound and a half. It is solid, it is dense, it's a well-built brick with a nice matte finish. So Nano here doesn't mean physically small, it means it's collapsing a bunch of other gadgets into one, reducing the footprint on your desk overall. On the front, you get the brains of the operation. There are 3 USB-C ports and 1 old-school USB-A port. The layout is clean, and this is where you're gonna plug in all your daily drivers. And around back, you get 3 standard AC outlets, just like a regular power strip, with a 1,000-watt budget to run things like your monitor or your desk accessories. It's plenty power for modern users. But the 2 headline features are right here. First, let me just get that out of the way. First, you got a screen directly in front. It's a 1.3-inch color LCD screen hidden behind the glossy front panel. You press the little stealth button right here on top, and it cycles through, showing you the total power output and even a per port breakdown of the wattage going to each device. For a data nerd, kind of like me, this is an underrated feature because I like knowing if my laptop is actually pulling at full speed. And then there's the star of the show, which is the Instacords right here. This is the Instacord system. On each side, there's a retractable USB-C cable. You give it a little bit of tug and it extends. Another gentle tug and a smooth roller system zips it right back into the housing, where a magnet holds the end flush in place. It is clean, it is tidy, but here's the little quirk I found in daily use. Even though this thing is a brick, and even with the little rubber feet on the bottom, it's not quite heavy enough to stay put when you pull the cable with one hand. So it's kind of different with this table, because this table, it's got a pretty sticky surface. So this one, your hope is to, when you pull this cable, that it stays in place. And that's exactly what it's doing here. But on other surfaces that I've tested, my other desk, it doesn't do that. It is a very small thing, but it's a two-handed operation and something that you might want to consider. Okay, so the performance. This thing is advertised with a 100-watt total output for the USB ports, and it's completely legit. I plugged in my MacBook Pro and the screen confirmed that it was pulling about 96 watts. That's full speed, more than enough for even power-hungry laptops. But the real magic is how it shares that power. Anker has this intelligent allocation tech that acts like a tiny power accountant inside the box. When you plug in more devices, it splits the 100-watt budget. So let's say a MacBook Air and an iPhone might get 67 watts and 33 watts respectively. Plug in 4 things, and it might split it into something like 30 watts, 28, 30 watts, and 12 watts for the USB-A port. It is smart, and it ensures that each device gets a decent amount of charge and power. But packing 100 watts into a compact box creates a lot of heat. Anker talks up their Active Shield 3.0 safety system, but in my testing, this thing, it gets really hot. It gets toasty. Under a sustained heavy load, I clocked the surface temperature at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 66 degrees Celsius. And after running a continuous 100-watt load, I saw it thermal throttle after about 26 minutes. It intentionally reduced output to 70 watts to manage the temperature. For most people, this is fine, but if you are planning on doing, let's say, a 2-hour video render, don't expect it to hold peak performance the entire time. The system is prioritizing safety, which is good, but it comes at the cost of sustained peak power. Having said that, 70 watts is still a lot of power, even if you're like doing major editing. It should be more than enough. Okay, so the performance is clearly capable for most people, and it's a genius idea for cleaning up a desk, but none of that matters if the product is frustrating to use or just breaks. And that brings us back to the retractable Instacords we were talking about earlier. The very feature that makes this thing unique, and the part of the review that will really determine if this is a smart buy or a hard pass for you. So the Instacord gamble, right? The convenience of these cables it cannot be overstated. I love this feature. It is a genuine quality of life improvement. But the question I keep coming back to is, what happens when one of them breaks? This is a recurring theme I found online with users worrying about the non-replaceable nature of the cables as well. The concern is that cables fail. They will fail eventually, but when a standard cable fails, all you have to do is just replace it, get a new one. Here, if the non-replaceable cable frays or the roller mechanism gives out, a core feature of this premium $90 device permanently lost. Anker claims they're tested for like 18,000 pulls, but in my research, I found at least one report of the retraction mechanism on a similar Anker product breaking just after over a month of use, which was also described as light use. They are meant to break. This is the central gamble. You are trading the proven reliability and replaceability of a standard cable for the incredible convenience of an integrated one. It introduces a single mechanical point of catastrophic failure into your charging setup. Anyway, so after using this for a while, here's my breakdown. The upsides, obvious. It's an all-in-one decluttering machine. It's powerful enough for a high-end laptop. The LCD screen is genuinely useful for techies, and the Instacord's undeniably convenient. But the downsides are just as significant. It's heavy and not really a travel charger. You have to hold it down with a second hand just to pull out the cords depending on your surface. And the thermal throttling, it is a real limitation for power users. And the biggest one is the durability gamble of the non-replaceable cables, all for a premium price, if I may add. So who is this actually for? I think this is the perfect fit for the organization-obsessed professional, someone who values a pristine, minimalist desk above all else and is willing to pay a premium and take a risk for that particular convenience. But if you are a longevity-focused user who wants an accessory that will reliably work for years, this is a much harder sell. You'd probably be better off with the older, cheaper Anker A91C4 model that uses standard cables, or a competitor from Ugreen or Satechi even. For nearly half the price, you can get 80% of the function without the single point of failure. So there you have it. A brilliant but flawed glimpse into the future of desktop charging. It solves one problem perfectly while introducing a whole new one. It's a high-risk, high-reward product that forces a direct choice between unparalleled convenience and proven durability. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is that convenience worth the risk for you? Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.